Realistically, bro, Cartoon Network is where I was at. I was on Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and Nick was last on me. I would carry my ass to Boomerang and Nicktoons and Disney XD before I would even touch the original Nickelodeon. It was not getting touched. And that's because they played 24/7 fucking SpongeBob. And that's where Cartoon Network messed up. 24/7 fucking Teen Titans Go. I don't want to see that no more. Please get it off my screen.
Let me ask.
I click guide on a fucking button and all I see is Teen Titans Go all the way to 8. I'm good off that. I'm trying to see some cool shit. So what do? I go to Boomerang. I click guide. I see Ed, Edd n Eddy, Scooby-Doo, Dexter's Laboratory, fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I'm like, oh, I'm eating right now. I see Simpsons. I'm like, oh yeah, we in that bit for real. We're in that bit for real. So then I'm chilling.
You something. When was the last time you heard any good news relating to Cartoon
Samurai, exactly.
Network,
Kai,
or
Samurai,
more specifically
Jack, all that
Warner
shit.
Brothers? Scratch that, actually. Streaming in general. It feels like every other day some new.
Bro, and then they took half the cartoons off of Max. Bitch, Warner Bros. Owns Max. What are you doing taking the Cartoon Network cartoons off of Max? I can't watch Ben 10 no more. I have to pirate it. Like, dude.
The catastrophic event happens.
You actually, real no, you probably better off pirating now because you gotta pay for all these and catch ads. These streaming services are actually cable. I said it. We've gone full circle. It's cable now, gang. You're just paying mad high for that bitch. Ugh.
Stirs everyone.
Why you think we watching streamers now? That's everyday TV. I get something new every day from the same person. I don't gotta see the same rerun of an episode that I saw 2 days ago. Yeah, I'm cool off that game.
Into a frenzy. Whether that's beloved and successful shows being
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Facts. That was a cool one. I like that one.
canned or removed from streaming with no legal way to watch them, shows being canned before they're even given a chance, movies and TV shows being used for tax write-offs mid-production or sometimes when they're close to being finished.
I'm not gonna lie. This movie, I feel so bad for everyone that was involved in this shit. They completed the movie twice over. They edited it twice over, and then they was like, fuck it, we not dropping it. Like, bro, we couldn't get no Morbius treatment? We couldn't get a Morbius treatment? Damn.
To them never seeing the light of day and everyone's time being wasted. Yep. It's a dark time. And above all, the medium that is getting hit the hardest by all of this, I'm gonna go with malarkey, it sounds funny, is animation. Animation has never really been treated well by corporations for,
facts.
well, ever. Crunch time, overworking animators to the brink of death, and being rewarded with enough money to put Skittles and ice soup on the table for a week. But things are incredibly dire nowadays. And you'd think after animation basically carried the industry out of bankruptcy
Johnny Bravo was lit. I love Johnny Bravo.
During the pandemic, that things would start looking up. However, that's a hopeful outcome, a word that in Hollywood means about as little as the word consent.
Yo, I can't wait till I get big. They're gonna be counting my pauses. This shit gonna be crazy.
Right, I think we can save the corporate stuff for later. So, Cartoon Network. It's in a bit of a state right now, I won't lie. All of you watching know what Cartoon Network is, and you likely have a favorite Cartoon Network show you used to watch as a kid or still watch today as an adult. It's a network that many have very fond memories of, and back in the day, it was arguably the best channel out of the big three of itself, Disney Channel /XD, and Nickelodeon, especially as Disney and Nick began airing more live-action programming. Cartoon Network has a massive library of iconic and beloved cartoons, and also Lego.
I think the beauty of Cartoon Network, ooh, Legend of Chima. Boy, don't even get me started on this wonderful last show right here. Nigga, I done ran this bitch back so many fucking times before they took it off of Netflix. Boy, I was on this bitch daily. Foster's Home, Imaginary Friends. See, you just naming all the classics now. And that's why I like you, Disney. You know everything.
Chima, and throughout its numerous eras over its 31-year history, it has maintained its reputation as the go-to cartoon channel for all ages, something that for the past couple of years has unfortunately began to wither.
I think why it went so well is because it was strictly cartoons. Like, it was nothing else. Well, that's a lie, because dude, what would happen? That was my shit, though. Dude, what would happen? That one show where they experimented with the shit and they had to build the shit. I forgot. Destroy, Build, Destroy. Yeah. All them shits, all the little live action junks. I think was Hole in the Wall on Cartoon Network. I think, bro, like, yeah, shit like that, bro. Like Powerpuff Girls, exactly. Most of Cartoon Network was cartoons though. But when they moved into live action, their live action was still on par, bro. It was still good. It was still better than probably some of the shit they was putting out on Nick. The thing is, you can name 10 times more Cartoon Network shows then you could probably name Nickelodeon shows. Disney Channel, that's a whole separate thing. That's straight live. Like really, they had rarely any cartoons. If you want cartoons, go to Disney XD. I'm gonna keep it a book. If you want cartoons, go to Disney XD because Disney Channel was straight live action. I ain't gonna lie. You won't gonna catch Ultimate Spider-Man on fucking Disney Channel. You was gonna catch that bitch on Disney XD.
It's a stretch to say that Cartoon Network has been on a steep decline as of recently. Not just the channel itself, naturally with streaming getting bigger, the channel itself would suffer, but the brand in general. There's a lot of reasons for this, and before you get all uppity in the comment section, it's not because, grah, cartoons were better when I was a kid. It's far more complex than that. If the network was failing because of the quality of its cartoons, then Teen Titans Go wouldn't still be standing after 11 years. It feels like for the past couple of years, Warner Brothers have been determined to kill basically every aspect of CN's brand, and it can only be described as a slow and painful death. Cartoon Network may not be literally dead, but figuratively, it's been cooked for a while. And with the recent removal of multiple of CN's heavy hitters from streaming for a reason that can be summed up as David Zaslav taking his hands off his cock to start shrugging at the camera, now seems like a pretty good time to talk about the decline of Cartoon Network. This is not going to be as long or high energy as my previous decline videos.
Rick and Morty, that shit's 57 minutes. But I still like Rick and Morty, and I didn't know the new season dropped, so I'm about to start watching that bitch illegally. Not gonna lie. Low key, let me know if y'all wanna. Ooh, I don't think it got enough hype to really make a video on it, but I would do it. I'm not gonna lie, nigga, I'd do that shit just cause I, for the love of the game, I would dead edit my Rick and Morty reaction.
Just really like the title for this one. Leave me alone. For many years, Cartoon Network was renowned for its diverse and quality lineup of cartoons, many of which have stood the test of time and are still popular among kids and adults to this day. No matter what era of the channel, there was always a good
I love Amazing World of Gumball because everything fits inside of the animation style. I don't know how they do it.
Number of shows airing that were iconic for their own reasons and helped to strengthen the network's brand and popularity. Love them or hate them, it cannot be denied that the majority of Cartoon Network's programming left their mark and are still popular today. The current era of Cartoon Network is f***ing boring, and it's not necessarily because of the quality of what's here. I mean, you can go on your 40th rant about why Teen Titans Go is the worst thing ever and killed your dog all you want, but compared to every other era of the network, this one is just lacking in any standout cartoons. Look back to previous eras of the network. The dawn of time, you had Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, Courage, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Kids Next Door, Billy and Mandy. Mid-2000s, you got Samurai Jack, Foster's Home.
Straight, bro, he just straight gas. Straight gas.
Ben 10, Chowder, Flapjack, 2010s. I mean, good god, I will not understand people who hate on 2010s Cartoon Network. You had Adventure Time, Regular Show, Gumball, We Bare Bears, Steven Universe, Over the Garden Wall. Does that count?
It counts. It counts. I ain't gonna lie, the 2010s had comp, bro. The 2020s had comp, bro.
I'm counting it. Infinity Train, OKKO. Admittedly, I'm just listing most of the ones that come to mind for me personally, and obviously not everyone likes these shows equally, and yes, each era had its low points. But the point is that
Johnny Test was not a low point. Johnny Test is my shit. Forgot her.
No matter the era, there was always stuff to watch. Stuff that left an impact. Stuff that immediately came to mind when you thought of Cartoon Network. What even airs on Cartoon Network today? Not counting Adult Swim. I mean, Teen Titans Go really isn't that bad, especially now, but we're not having that discussion today. Craig the Creek is pretty good, and
Craig the Creek, I remember that.
Mind. Fiona and Cake is amazing, but didn't air on the network itself, so that doesn't count. Jellystone is fine. There's a baby show about We Bare Bears. I thought that fad died in the 2000s. Tiny Toons and Total Drama got revivals that I've heard no one talk about.
Total Drama was fucking really amazing.
I mean, there's some other shows that have either aired on the network itself or are streaming on Max, not for long anyway, but I don't think I've heard anyone talk about these ever. Either the marketing is just that bad, or there's really nothing here that's grabbing.
The marketing is just that bad. I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't even know Over the Garden Wall was a thing. Bro, I watched the first and last episode and literally was asking myself, what the fuck happened to get here? Literally.
There's really not much here. I mean, Craig of the Creek is a leftover from the 2010s and it's the best show in the current lineup, and that's ending soon. Where are the shows? There is nothing here. It's not like what's here is even bad, it's just that barely any of it stands out. There's no variety, no diverse lineup of shows that had their own strengths and aspects to set them apart, and to make this worse, I think we're about to enter an era that just lacks any original programming. Recently, there were a ton of cartoon.
And there's been mad reboots. Like, I don't think that when was the last time we've had an original IP, bro? I think that's where we at when it comes to just content in general. It's straight nostalgia bait, straight reboots, straight revivals. Like, we haven't seen, I don't think I've seen anything original, like, when it comes to like shows in a long time. specifically animated shows. Like I'm trying to see some heat, some bangers, not no adaptations, bro. I'm trying to see some cool shit. I think the coolest thing we got when it comes to like actual shows and like original shit, maybe like Severance and Sinners. Maybe. Maybe.
Network announcements about revivals of their previous shows, not reboots, full-on revivals continuing what was already there. Now, stuff like Gumball coming back was just kind of expected because Gumball hasn't really been over. It aired its final episode a while back, but it ended on a cliffhanger that was going to be followed up by the movie. But given a new season is drawing closer and we have no word on the movie at all, I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. So yeah, Gumball being brought back is fine, and I don't think anyone is against having more Gumball in their lives. The other announcement, though, threw me off. A cliff. Regular show is getting a revival, and my god did the alarm bells start ringing with this one. Not that I doubt it'll...
The fact that regular show is getting a revival blows my mind. Like y'all literally gave it an ending. Y'all gave that motherfucker an ending. Now the thing with regular show is that it's called The Lost Tapes. I watched the video on that yesterday. I don't know if it's up yet, but yeah.
Good. I'm sure they'll find some way to make it work, but not only did regular show end 7 years ago, but it ended perfectly, even if the final season itself wasn't that great. And this isn't the only IP that CN is bringing back from the dead, because they also have Craig McCracken on board to do his own Powerpuff Girls revival after the 2016 reboot kind of existed. And there's a new Foster's Home show too that's going to be aimed at preschoolers. I mean, okay, if...
A new Foster's Home? I'm cool off this, I'm not gonna lie. If y'all not bringing back the OG cast, keep that shit out of here. And you see how I just said that? Y'all see how I just said that? Ooh, that's nostalgic. I just said, yo, if y'all not pulling on nostalgia, babe, I don't want it. That's insane, bro. That's insane. I just said that.
That's what you want to do with Foster's, then sure. But do you guys see the problem here? The complete lack of original programming as is bad enough, but having to rely on previously established shows that ended years ago comes off as nothing more than desperate. I wouldn't mind this as much if we still had new and interesting shows coming out, but there's literally nothing. And who's to say it's going to stop at just these shows? Any day now they could announce a new revival for anything at this point, so long as it makes the money. Now, is this a big problem for me personally? No, contrary to what some of you may think, I don't spend most of my time watching cartoons as much as I have a passion for animation. By the way, please watch Dan Da Dan. I've read the manga, it's really good. But
I need to watch Dan Da Dan. Is it really that good?
Sad to watch one of my favorite childhood channels crumble like this, and it makes me upset knowing that kids today aren't going to get a similar lineup of bangers and new originals that kept me hooked as a kid. And that also sucks for adults too, because many of the best Cartoon Network shows have that multi-generational appeal and can be enjoyed by all ages. And I'm sick of living in a world where new ideas just aren't given a chance and companies just recycle the same IPs over and over again. I have no doubt that the revivals of Gumball,
I'll just watch Biscuit's videos.
Regular show and even Powerpuff Girls will be good, but the network really needs something new. Beyond the current state of the network itself, it feels like Warner Bros. Is doing everything in their power to decrease the presence of Cartoon Network as a brand, despite how big and recognizable it is. It really feels like at every turn for the past couple of years, CN's been getting curb stomped out of relevancy, and a lot of this is purely cost-cutting reasons. It doesn't take a genius to figure out or even research that Warner Bros. Is knee-deep in debt, and David Zaslav's favorite pastime is trying to pull his company out of said debt, which is a Sisyphean task at this point, by being as comically evil as possible. Wanna know why the Cartoon Network Studios building in Burbank got shut down? Cost cutting. They don't want to pay for 2 buildings for their 2 animation studios, so they moved Cartoon Network to the Warner Bros. Animation building instead. And while I guess that makes sense as a cost cutting measure, it is a pretty on the nose metaphor for how figuratively dead Cartoon Network is. The original building that produced all of their classic and beloved cartoons is now shut down. A large and recognizable landmark and symbol.
Damn. Nah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I ain't even gonna lie. Damn, like imagine like you build something somewhere and it becomes monumental and they just tear that bitch down.
In the industry just gone. And if you thought
crazy my Wi-Fi worse than free Wi-Fi. Felt that. Had to get an Ethernet. Felt that.
That was Jover enough. Then let's look at all the other ways Cartoon Network is being completely stripped of its soul just to line Zaslav's pocket.
Am I lagging or was it just you? That's why you've been gone. Oh, my shit didn't drop below 6. I can't wait for Dan Da Dan season 2 next month. Hey, we gonna see what that's talking about.
This past summer, the official Cartoon Network website was shut down and now redirects to Max. At least in America anyway. We still have it in the UK, and I think some other regions may have it too, though to be frank, our version is a lot worse than the US version. But this was still a massive blow to the brand. Not only because of how many fond, nostalgic memories many of us have using this website as kids, either during our free time or playing games on it at school, etc., but again because of what it represented. Cartoon Network's soul being scrubbed from existence. I know it may sound off to give a large company a soul, but comparing what we knew of CN to current day Warner Brothers, yeah, no, CN had a soul.
Camp Laszlo, yo, that intro was good. I remember that intro. I don't remember it off the top, but I remember I seen that bitch.
Right, at least in comparison to this Joker. Also, as a side tangent, I find it really sad that so many safe online spaces for kids, such as the Cartoon Network website and Club Penguin, are just dropping like flies.
Yo,
These
Club
were
Penguin
high-quality,
so
kid-friendly spaces that stopped kids from accessing other, more mature parts of the web that they shouldn't be seeing at their age. I don't think it's a strange coincidence that the uptick in children using websites like Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, etc. happened around the same time that these safe spaces started getting shut down. The Cartoon Network website, while a shell of its former self, was one of the last of these websites still standing, and now
Almost Naked Animals was a Cartoon Network show? Yo, what y'all know about that? What y'all know about? What do y'all know about that? I'm not even trying to be funny. Yo, when I talk about this, no one remembers it. I'm not even trying to be funny. What y'all know about that? Almost Naked Animals? Yo, that was my shit. I loved this show with my entire heart. This shit was it was like crack. It was like crack, actually. Like crackheads, but animals. It was insane. Like, this was Ed, Edd n Eddy meets animals on Everything I Love in a hotel. It was amazing. It was amazing. I watched every episode until I never found it again, bro. I thought like, I watched this on my own, bro. Like, I was like, yo, am I tweaking? Does anyone remember what that is? Like, nobody was like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Almost Naked Animals. What you mean, Almost Naked Animals? Trying to be a weirdo, bro? You fucking weird talking about Almost Naked Animals. What you into that nasty weird shit? That's how niggas was talking, like on me.
Now it's gone, and to my knowledge, I don't think many of the games were archived, and a lot of the website itself is now lost media. It's just really depressing to realize that we're heading towards a reality where kids don't have well-made, fun, and safe corners of the internet to use, and
like, you can't even, do Cool Math even exist no more? Hold on. Like, what y'all know about cool Math games? This shit not even built the same. Hold on, let me see. They got running this bitch. Are you in? My bad, side tangent. Side I'm saying, hold on. Yeah, hold on. I'm in my bag, hold All right, I just had to do that real quick. I found Almost Naked Animals. It's on Peacock. I just found it too. I figured it out. I got Peacock, so I can go watch that.
The alternative is to access sites that they really should not be viewing or interacting with. Yes, YouTube has a kids version, but almost no one uses it, and the content on there is exploitative and deeply unsettling, so kids shouldn't be using it anyway. And now we get to the streaming side of things. Ever since Warner Brothers merged with Discovery and Zaslav entered the picture, CN's been getting brutally backhanded with every move they make. Max, or HBO Max as it used to be known as, was once held in high regard as one of the best streaming services you could.
Yo, bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, Disney has one of the worst streaming services, bro. Their navigation system is fucking terrible. Oh my god. We should watch it together? All right, bet. We're gonna do that. Fucking, yo, but when I went to Max, yo, it's such a breeze up there. It's such a breeze. Like, Hulu can get a little complicated, I'm not gonna lie. Depending, like, you gotta figure out how to fucking get inside of a show without clicking play on that bitch. But Disney, dude, they need to fix their shit. They, like, their servers are butt too, bro. Oh my gosh.
subscribed to because of Warner Bros.' extensive catalog of IP, and a big part of that was the sheer number of Cartoon Network shows featured on there. Basically, everything was there from every era.
We don't accept this nigga. You see this nigga right here? He don't exist to me. He don't exist to me. He has ruined everything that has to come with Ben 10 now. Because this motherfucker is now canon to the original one. Fuck you.
Era of the network. So many high quality and well regarded cartoons from many people's childhoods, and many that people still enjoy today were all there and accounted for. Then Zaslav took over and things began to change. One by one, Cartoon Network's catalog began to decrease as many shows were removed from Max entirely, and given that some of them don't have many places you can legally purchase them from, this made some shows completely inaccessible through legal means. This practice of removing your own shows from your own streaming service has become a lot more common in recent years, and it's
bro, this makes no fucking sense. Is this still on Netflix? I can't even fucking check. I'm not gonna lie, I can't even check. But this was my shit. I loved Voltron. And my favorite character by the end of this show was this nigga right here. This nigga right here. I didn't like him. I was always, you know, oh, I fuck with Jay. Or was this Jay? This was Jay. But by the end, I was like, oh yeah, that's my guy. And the reboot of Powerpuff Girls is trash. I'd rather watch the original. I already assumed that it was trash.
It's a very hard concept to wrap your head around at first, because why the hell would you even do that? Remove your own content from your own service? It seems completely counterintuitive.
It's
like
very
you're just throwing
counterintuitive.
money into a pit of fire, right? Unfortunately, this is just a clever but really scummy way for companies to get away with not paying the people involved with their production any residuals. They just can't be bothered to pay the people that made their hit shows the very small amount of residuals that they're owed. So they just remove the show entirely. Because of this incredibly greedy practice, it's led to an incredibly
I dead bought Max so I could watch Ben 10. Just to find out that the niggas took it off. I was mad as hell. I was mad as a bitch. Like, I went to go continue my watch through to see that Omniverse was fucking gone. I was like, yo, what? First it was took off of Hulu. First they took the shit off Hulu. So I was like, all right, I'll go to Max. I go to Max, start watching it. I think I'm on like season 5, episode some change. Go back the next day, that bitch gone. I'm crashing out at my ex. I'm like, and my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, yo, they took my shit. I can't watch my show no more.
really grim scenario where many shows are now incredibly hard to watch or straight up impossible to watch for legal means. And the creators of said shows are now publicly advocating for piracy if you're interested in watching them. And if you need
hold on.
And the
creator of Infinity Train, a show that got pulled from HBO Max and can only be pirated. I post frogs and hats. See what I'm saying? You're better off, bro, like, you're actually better off pirating these shows. Who the fuck remembers Slugterra? I couldn't find that bitch on nothing. On nothing. I had to pirate that bitch to go watch it with my dog. What?
of said shows are now publicly advocating for piracy if you're interested in watching them. And if you need another reminder about how grim things are right now, as I said at the start of the video, Max recently removed a ton of Cartoon Network's heavy hitters from their service. This included Chowder, Regular Show, The Amazing World of Gumball, We Bare Bears, and Steven Universe. I don't think I need to explain why this is mind-blowing, right? Whether you like these shows or not, it can't be denied that these are some of the most well-regarded and popular shows Cartoon Network have ever produced. Regular Show and Gumball are so popular, in fact, that they announced more episodes were in the f***ing works. Where is the sense in just removing all of this content? Surely paying the residuals isn't costing that much. I refuse to believe this practice is getting Warner Bros. Anywhere close to clearing the $50 billion of debt they're drowning in. In 2 years, the company's only cleared a fifth of that. By the time they get out of it, there's not going to be any fucking content left. And to add insult to injury, to really hammer in how CN is being deprioritized, Max's brand spotlight places Cartoon Network around the middle to
So when the fuck they gonna announce they bankrupt type shit and start moving like Marvel?
low
get
end
that shit back in about like 20 years.
of it. Adult Swim and Boomerang are above it in terms of priority. It's just really sad. This point extends well beyond Cartoon Network, and it applies to, well, most of the animation industry at this point. Animators and artists who have worked on many of your favorite cartoons are currently unemployed in record numbers, and a big reason for this has been streaming. Not only does streaming allow corporations to see what's popular and chase trends at a much more efficient rate, renewing and cancelling on a whim, this trend chasing completely f***s with animation, given it takes far longer to make than the vast majority of shows. Big name streaming services have already built up massive libraries of content and are overly reliant on established and profitable IP, which also throws a wrench into things given original ideas can barely get off the ground now. And to add further insult to injury,
I
layoffs in the
forgot
animation
about Robot Chicken. Oh, Cow and Chicken. I remember that. Cow and chicken. Or cat and dog. Cow and chicken, cat and dog.
Industry are rampant right now. As studios are
Inside Out 2 was the hit Pixar needed, but the laid off employees who crunched on it are still hurting. That's crazy.
Constantly trying to make their finances look better. As previously mentioned with Warner Bros. And Cartoon Network, this leads to extensive cost-cutting measures from the closing of the original Cartoon Network Studios building, the shutdown of the original website, and a constant removal of classic content from streaming services. All of this is topped off with staff being laid off en masse, and because of the lack of original animated programming.
So like if Cartoon Network was supposed to redirect you to Max, hold on, hear me out. If Cartoon Network is supposed to redirect you to Max, and Max is taking the Cartoon Network shows off of Max, what the fuck? Where are we going? Where are we supposed to go now? Y'all better off hitting up a pirate. I'm telling you, pirating is probably the way to go, bro. You gonna have to pay for all these streaming services just so you can watch one show one time. Oh, I want to watch a new show that's coming out right now. Damn, I gotta pay for a new streaming service. Fuck, that's a what, $10 a month now for you to finish it in that month? Nigga. It literally makes no fucking sense. It literally makes no sense. Because why would I do that? It's only gonna come out for what? 8 weeks? Max. 8 weeks max. They not giving you 10, 25, 26, 35 episodes a season no more, bitch. They sticking to 8. And I remember when they cut it in half to 13, I was like, okay, I could, fine, I'll deal with 13. Psych. Like, bruh.
Being greenlit nowadays, as well as studios continuing to chase trends, there simply aren't enough jobs going around to make animation a sustainable career for most people. Last year, it was reported that around 30% of the Los Angeles animation workforce are unemployed, with that percentage only continuing to rise as more studios continue to cut costs in the most pathetic and desperate ways imaginable.
I ain't gonna lie, 30% high as a bitch.
Ever since the
y'all don't understand how high these percentages really are. Like, these percentages are high, dude. Like, 20's high. 20 is a high percentage. Like once we start talking 20% or something, that's high. That's high as bitch.
Bubble burst at a spell.
And then once we start getting above 50, you gotta fucking, like, realistically, if we start touching 40% or something, we have an issue. Fix your fucking shit, bro. Please.
Doom for the animation industry, as the big corporations get to keep making these decisions to cut costs and play things safe without any devastating or long-term financial consequences. David Zaslav, CEO of Warner Bros. And all-around dickhead, made $50 million last year while his company lost $3 billion. If something about that doesn't add up, that's because Warner Bros. Is solely focused on making sure its top executives and the CEO reap all the benefits of this destructive rampage they're on, while everyone else has to deal with their projects being shit-canned on a weekly basis and being left out of a job because, to be frank, there are no fucking jobs. This applies everywhere in animation right now, but in Cartoon Network's case, it especially hurts given just how bad the network and brand have been crippled these past couple of years under Zaslav's leadership. Oh, this is all about mentioning the fact that working conditions for the animation are still subpar across the board. So even if you do get a job in the industry, it's very likely you'll either be treated like shit, forced to crunch, get paid close to nothing, or all of the above. Remember how big of a success Inside Out 2 was for Pixar this year? Massive crunch time, baby, and many people who slaved away on the movie were laid off before it was released and were unable to receive their bonuses, which many people working at
they hold them. Holy shit. They got hold. Holy shit.
Pixar rely on, since Pixar is not unionized. It's for all of these reasons that people within the industry are louder than ever about securing a new deal for animation. The Animation Guild is still fighting for a new deal, and accounts like Animation Workers United have been helping to spread the word on the trials and tribulations faced by animators right now. You remember that hashtag RIP Cartoon Network short that went viral this summer? Yep, that was them. The most any of us can really do is also be vocal about our love of animation and our desire for a new deal. And to be fair, it does seem like progress is being made, just slowly. But there's likely still a long road ahead of any successful negotiations. And going back to the topic of the video, I think you can see why this has all had a substantial impact on the current state of Cartoon Network. The lack of original programming, the reliance on existing IP, the constant cost-cutting through means of essentially min-maxing.
It just makes me sad, bro, honestly. Because, yo, not only are they treating animators like this, and I'm gonna say it again because it's gonna sound crazy, they're treating animators like this. And I'm talking like the real, like, Marvel CGI animators, I'm talking Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animators. I'm talking shit. Intro creators for TV shows. Bro, working for like an industry, for a TV show industry, could really fry your shit. Not only are they doing this to animators, bro, they're doing this to people who create shit for you. Nigga, bitch, I gave you the entire concept for the suit. Fuck you mean you gonna fire me, bitch? This your best suit. What? Don't make no sense to me.
The company's finances, which has led to the degradation of the network's brand and the complete and utter termination of its original soul.
Whole time everybody fucking loved it and you mad because you can't make your money back, bitch ass nigga. You gotta pay me regardless. I'm suing your bitch ass.
Make no mistake, while Cartoon Network isn't dead on the outside, it's been dead on the inside for a while, and all Warner Brothers continue to do is puppeteer its corpse as it slowly fades away from relevancy. I'm willing to bet that if things keep going in its direction for the next few years or so, Cartoon Network is just gonna cease to exist entirely. It means nothing now. I want to make this video longer, but I've said basically all I can really say at this point. Cartoon Network is at a very steep and painful decline. I wish I could have made this video more lighthearted, but it's just a sad state of affairs watching a network that was home to many of the shows that shaped who you are and kept you entertained as a kid be reduced to metaphorical rubble. Maybe one day Warner will snap out of it, maybe one day Cartoon Network will be on top of the world once again, who really knows for sure. But before that happens, things need to change within the industry, because the way things are right now is laughably unsustainable. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Actually don't play Yakuza this time, play Judgment. It's basically a Yakuza spin-off but with Ace Attorney stuff sprinkled in, it's great.
It's bad. It's bad. He got a point though. He got a giant point. And that's just super unfortunate, bro. You love to hate on niggas that be doing dumb shit like this though. Like why? Like why do y'all treat workers like this? Y'all be trying to tell them, oh, we gotta get it out, It's that and the third. But the whole time y'all just ready to fucking send them, y'all ready to hire somebody, send them out the door in the next 15 minutes. Yo, come do this job for me real quick. Bye. Yo, can you make this animation for me? We need help with animation. I would love to work for you guys. No, bye. It's just how they get treated, bro. And it's like, bro, y'all better off, like, really, actually. All of y'all are better off making an entire company, hiring all of y'all, hiring all the people that got laid off for the same shit, and doing your own creative shit. Literally, you'll be better off doing that. Why? Because guess what? You got a team full of creative people that are trying to be creative. With those people on your side, working for you, working together, 9 times out of 10, you will make something that actually has some substance, damn it. Not just a revival, a reboot, or a reiteration of something that's already been done, bitch. We gonna get something completely new with these. Something completely new. They probably got passions to create some new animations to work for somebody or to even get some residual pay. And the other half of that problem is, guess what? They doing the same shit to the actors that's on TV shows. You know, if they put a TV show on a streaming service, they didn't have to pay you for the residual playback on every playback. And they get an annual check from them motherfuckers. If you tell me, oh, I was in a movie and you put that movie on 5 streaming services, those 5 streaming services have to pay me yearly because I was in the movie. I don't get just a salary for being in that bitch. I get a salary just for having it on streaming services. This is the same shit that happened with like Disney Channel shit. Bro, they created the show. They got they had a very specific link that they wanted it to be. It got popular. They added new shit to it. And what did they do when they added new shit to it? They changed the name. Why did they change the name? So their pay wouldn't go up. They're literally hoes. They're going to hoe you every chance they get. You're better off working for yourself. I'm serious. You're better off just literally doing it and dipping. Or if, like, bro, oh my gosh. It's sad, bro. It's sad. Because what's crazy is it's like 3 companies, bro. It's literally 3 companies. 3 companies own everything. Amazon, Disney, and Warner Bros. Sorry, guys. We cooked. We're fried. We need some new shit. Not gonna lie.